He was a maestro of fabric, a sculptor of silk and leather. Gianni Versace's hands were like those of a magician, transforming mere materials into works of art. His vision was unparalleled, his creativity boundless. Gianni Versace. His name alone conjured images of opulent excess, of a world where beauty reigned supreme. His fashion shows were not just events, they were spectacles, grand performances that left audiences in awe. From the streets of Reggio Calabria to the runways of Milan, Versace's ascent was a dazzling spectacle. He brought with him a unique blend of Mediterranean flair and high fashion, creating a style that was both bold and sophisticated. He had become synonymous with a vibrant, unapologetic kind of glamour. His designs were fearless, often pushing the boundaries of what was considered acceptable in the fashion world. Celebrities flocked to his shows. Royalty coveted his designs. His creations were seen on the most influential figures of the time, making headlines and setting trends. He dressed princesses and pop stars, turning them into gilded icons. Each piece he crafted was a statement, a testament to his genius and his ability to capture the essence of his clients. Versace's world was one of shimmering gold and bold prints, a testament to his unwavering belief in the power of beauty. His designs were a celebration of life, color, and extravagance. And at the heart of this empire, overlooking the shimmering turquoise waters of Miami Beach, stood Casa Casuarina. This mansion was not just a home, it was a sanctuary, a place where Versace's creativity could flourish. The mansion was a monument to Versace's extravagant vision. Every corner of Casa Casuarina was meticulously designed, reflecting his love for opulence and his eye for detail. It was a place where every detail whispered of luxury, where every shadow seemed to hum with creativity. The walls of Casa Casuarina held stories of countless inspirations and dreams. But even paradise has its shadows. The beauty of the mansion stood in stark contrast to the darkness that loomed over Versace's life. And for Gianni Versace, the darkness was lurking closer than anyone knew. Behind the glamour and the glitz, there were threats and fears that haunted him. How could someone who built such a dazzling world be brought down so brutally? The tragedy that struck was as shocking as it was heartbreaking, leaving a void in the world of fashion that could never be filled. The South Beach sun, already a potent force at 8:45 a.m., glinted off the ornate gates of Casa Casuarina. The mansion, a symbol of opulence and history, stood proudly against the backdrop of a clear blue sky. Its intricate designs and grand architecture were a testament to the lavish lifestyle of its owner. Palm trees swayed in the gentle breeze, their fronds whispering secrets of the past. The rhythmic rustling of the leaves created a serene soundtrack to the morning, a stark contrast to the bustling city just beyond the beach. The air, thick with humidity and the scent of bougainvillea, hummed with the promise of another scorching Florida day. The vibrant flowers added splashes of color to the lush greenery, their petals glistening with morning dew. Inside, Gianni Versace was starting his day. The designer, known for his bold and innovative fashion, had a routine as meticulous as his creations. Every morning he would take a moment to appreciate the beauty of his surroundings before diving into his work. He moved through the mansion's cool, shadowed rooms, the echo of his footsteps a familiar rhythm. The dimly lit corridors, adorned with art and artifacts, were a sanctuary from the outside world. Versace had just returned from his usual morning stroll. The walk, a cherished part of his daily routine, allowed him to gather his thoughts and find inspiration in the vibrant city of Miami. He stopped at the News Cafe, picking up his daily dose of News the Miami Herald and the International Herald Tribune. The cafe, a popular spot for locals and tourists alike, was a hub of activity in the early hours. As he climbed the steps of his mansion, the familiar weight of the newspapers in his hand was comforting. Each step brought him closer to the sanctuary of his home, a place where he could escape the pressures of fame and fortune. He didn't notice the shadowed figure lurking near the steps. The figure, hidden in the early morning shadows, watched his every move with a sinister intent. He didn't see the flash of metal. 2 gunshots. The sudden violence shattered the morning tranquility, leaving a sense of shock and disbelief in its wake. Loud, sharp cracks that pierced the morning calm. The sound echoed through the streets, drawing the attention of passers-by and residents alike. Versace crumpled, the newspapers scattering around him like fallen leaves. The vibrant pages, once a source of information and connection to the world, now lay discarded and forgotten. Was it a random act of violence or something more sinister? The questions lingered in the air, as the city of Miami grappled with the loss of one of its most iconic figures. The news spread like wildfire, capturing the attention of millions across the globe. Gianni Versace, the fashion icon, was dead. Murdered in cold blood, right outside his own home. Miami Beach, the playground of the rich and famous, was suddenly a crime scene. The glamour and glitz overshadowed by a heinous act. Police cars, sirens wailing, descended upon Casa Casuarina, Versace's opulent mansion. The yellow police tape, flapping in the breeze, seemed to mock the opulence it surrounded, a stark contrast to the tragedy within. The hunt for the killer was on. Detectives and forensic teams worked tirelessly, piecing together the puzzle. Witnesses described the shooter, but details were scarce. A young man, casually dressed, was seen fleeing the scene. He had vanished into the labyrinthine streets of South Beach, leaving behind a trail of fear and confusion. The description meant nothing, fit no one and everyone. It was as if he had melted into the crowd, becoming invisible. The weight of the investigation pressed down on Detective Eric Peterson. Every lead seemed to lead to a dead end. He stared at the composite sketch, willing it to speak, to offer some clue to the killer's identity. But it remained silent. The eyes in the sketch stared back, empty and cold. They offered no answers, only more questions. Who was this man, and what drove him to commit such a brazen act? The mystery deepened with every passing hour. The name Andrew Cunanan meant nothing to the world, not yet. He was an enigma, a chameleon who moved through life cloaked in borrowed identities. He was a charmer, intelligent and quick-witted, but beneath the surface lurked a darkness. Cunanan craved attention, yearned to be seen, to matter. He was a study in contrasts, a wannabe social climber with a growing capacity for violence. Cunanan's life was a tangled web of deceit and desperation. He drifted through the fringes of high society, a predator in designer clothes. He spun elaborate fantasies, crafting a persona of wealth and privilege. But behind the facade, a storm was brewing, a storm that would soon erupt with terrifying consequences. What transformed this seemingly ordinary man into a cold-blooded killer? The investigation into Versace's murder unearthed a chilling discovery. Andrew Cunanan was no stranger to violence. He was a wanted man, linked to a string of murders across the country. His victims, a lover, a friend, an acquaintance, each one another piece in a twisted puzzle. Minneapolis, Chicago, New Jersey, each city marked a stage in Cunanan's deadly odyssey. With each victim, Cunanan's crimes grew bolder, more brazen. He seemed to revel in the notoriety, the fear that followed in his wake. His motives remained a chilling mystery. Was it jealousy, rage, a desperate cry for attention? Whatever the reason, Andrew Cunanan was now the most wanted man in America. How could someone commit such horrific acts and disappear into thin air? The investigation into Versace's murder became a race against time. Detectives, working tirelessly, pieced together the fragments of Cunanan's life. They chased down leads, interviewed witnesses, each dead end fueling their determination. The pressure mounted with each passing day. The world watched, waiting for answers. The investigation revealed a chilling truth. Cunanan was a master manipulator. He was a ghost, a phantom who knew how to disappear. He blended in, exploiting the trust of strangers, leaving a trail of deception in his wake. But even ghosts leave footprints. And slowly, painstakingly, the authorities were closing in. Would they catch him before he could strike again? The world mourned the loss of Gianni Versace. His death, a brutal end to a life of extraordinary creativity, sent shockwaves through the fashion world and beyond. His sister Donatella, his rock, his confidant, was left to pick up the pieces of his shattered empire. The shows went on, a bittersweet testament to Versace's enduring legacy. His designs, once symbols of exuberance and life, now carried the weight of tragedy. The world remembered the man who dared to dream in color, who redefined beauty for a generation. But they also remembered the darkness that had cut his life short, a stark reminder of the fragility of fame. How do you measure the impact of a life cut short, a talent silenced? In the end, Andrew Cunanan was found dead. Suicide. He died in a houseboat just a stone's throw from Versace's mansion. The manhunt was over, but the questions lingered. Why Versace? Why this spree of violence? Cunanan took his motives to the grave, leaving behind a legacy of pain and unanswered questions. Versace's murder served as a chilling reminder of the dark side of fame. It highlighted the vulnerability of those who live in the public eye, the fine line between adoration and obsession. It was a tragedy that transcended the world of fashion, forcing us to confront uncomfortable truths about our fascination with celebrity and the price some pay for it. What does it mean to live in a world where fame can be both a blessing and a curse?